Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us for our second Green and Gold virtual orientation event. This is an accepted student Q&A. We are joined by a couple of our accepted students here at CIA Greystone. My name is Sophia Wise, your enrollment manager for the fall semester, and I will be moderating today's event. Before we begin, there's going to be a Q&A box at the bottom of the screen. Please just throw in any questions that you might have for our current students, and we're going to get to as many as we can throughout this presentation. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. I am going to turn it over to two of our current students, Ben Minnick and Catherine Verret. Ben, Catherine, if you can unmute your mics and turn on your cameras, we'd like to get started with our students today. I know they're all excited to see you. So thank you so much for both of you joining us. Catherine, can you just introduce yourself to the students, tell them what point you are at in the program, and maybe a couple of things you're involved in on campus, and also what you're working on right now.
My name's Catherine Gray, and actually I was in the culinary program first. I started in May of 2019, and I graduated in December of last year. And then because I really enjoyed studying CIA, I decided to switch over to the baking program, and I'm currently in my second semester in baking. And the programs I'm currently involved in is I'm currently the senior resident assistant for the school. So if you're living in the dorms, we are the ones who take care of you guys. And also, I currently work at the school bake shop, and I'm making macarons for lunch service for tomorrow or next week. Yeah.
Awesome. I'm sure we're going to get a lot of questions about the residence halls and the meal plans, including some of the goodies that you're making for lunch service. Ben, how about you? Would you care to share with our students your semester in the program, some of the things that you're involved in?
Hi there, everyone. My name is Benjamin Minnick. I am a fifth semester culinary student. I'm currently at the Gatehouse restaurant, which we are happily accepting people into the restaurant now, which is great. We relaxed some restrictions. It's awesome. I am in the RA program. I am the RA for Guesthouse. I will be graduating here in, like 9 days. So I will not be here when you guys get here, but I would love to talk to you about how great of an experience it really was for me to be here. I am 27 years old. This was a different college experience for me, and I felt very accepted. And so it's been a blast. I can't wait to have you guys part of it.
Awesome. All right, so we did have some questions submitted before the session started today. We had a couple of students reach out to me who are going to be watching this recorded session at a later point, so they wanted to see their questions addressed. So one of the questions that we got is, what does a typical day look like for each of you? And I'm sure you're each going to have a different story, both having been in culinary, Catherine, right now.
Look for Chef Isaac's carts.
Can you just walk us a little bit through like what a culinary day looks like, and Catherine, maybe what a baking day looks like?
I can start.
Sure.
So for me as a fifth semester student, I'm in the morning class for lunch service at the Gatehouse. So my day starts at around 6 o'clock. I like to be up a little early and get some coffee at the school as I go in. So I get dressed, I put on my neckerchief, I put on my uniform. And from there, I go in, pick up coffee at like 6:30, get some breakfast that's usually stationed out there by, Cat Foray and a lot of the TAs. After that, I begin class at 7:45, 7:30. If I can get in there earlier, I get in there as early as possible to prep and get ready for the day. We get everything ready to go. It's a full restaurant service where customers come in, and so from 8 o'clock till 11, I'm getting everything prepped out, getting my station ready, my different tartare, my salads, my pastas, and then we do a plate demonstration with the chef. He looks over everything, he does final touches, little changes, a little bit maybe more seasoning, a little bit more broth, or a seasonality change. And then we start service at 11:30, and it goes until about 30 minutes ago when I bolted out of the restaurant. And then we do a breakdown with the chef, and it's really interesting to get to hear a chef instructor's perspective of how an actual restaurant service is. It's a lot of fun.
All right, excellent, excellent. And Catherine, if you can hear me, are you able to kind of walk us through what a day looks like for the baking students? Yep, she's coming back. Catherine, you're on mute.
Okay, hi guys, sorry about that.
That's okay. It's the hustle and bustle of a CIA student.
So I'll talk about the fundamentals for baking. So fundamentals is a morning class. We start at 7. So usually I wake up at 6, just to get ready, get my stuff together. Then I get to class. I get to school. I eat breakfast from 6:15 to 6:30. 6:30, I start bringing my stuff in the bake shop just to get set up. And then we have lecture from 7 to 8. From 8 until roughly 12:30, we have baking production where we just learn the fundamentals of baking. And then we have lunch, come back, we talk about what we baked, like how it turned out, what we need to look for. And then we clean and close out the day. So that's until 1:30 for the fundamentals. So since I'm currently in second semester, my regular day, do I include my job, Sophia, or just the class?
Just do the class for right now.
Okay, so because second semester and fourth semester are usually night classes, I start my day around, I come here at 2 just to prep for class. I grab my lunch earlier than that, then I put my stuff in the bake shop. We come in roughly 2:30, 2:40 just to set up the bake shop area and we don't really go to lecture anymore. We just go straight to like whatever chef wants to talk about, production, and then we go straight to baking until 6:30. We get our dinner. Sorry, I gotta move because I gotta check my bakes. And then
I love how you're giving us a little bit of a tour of the kitchen too.
my bad. This is also the bake shop, guys. My bad. Yeah, and then I am so sorry.
You're good.
Okay, I'll just show you guys. Okay, it's not there yet. My bad. Okay.
They haven't risen yet.
Little bit more. Then I'm trying to think. We bake what we need to bake. Around 6:30, we get our dinner. And then around 7, we just start cleaning up, and then we do a closeout again, and then that's it for the day. For night class, we get out roughly 7:30 to 8, depending on how we do for the day.
Wow, that's a lot of action during a day. But how do you guys manage your time?
Ben, you want to go first?
Sure, I would love to. In fundamentals, they teach us to write timelines. It's something that you're going to get really, really well acquainted with. And so that's where we section out each individual part of our day. And as we do that, we find ways to be the most efficient. Like, okay, I'm going to chop all my vegetables because that's going to go into a vegetable stock. I'm going to use that stock later to make a rice pilaf. And doing that sort of thing, it keeps you on track. And so just moving with efficiency is how you do it. So that way you don't get burnt out. Because if you're running back and forth all the time, I definitely did that for the most part my first semester. You get very tired. You take naps between classes. And then, mostly it's just making sure you have a proper schedule. And in fundies, you'll have 2 days on, 2 days off. So you'll be able to rest, recuperate, and plan 100% what you're going to do for that day. So it seems like a lot. It's going to seem like a lot the first day. You have all the time and you have all the equipment and resources. You can do it.
All right, excellent, excellent. So I see Catherine's run out to go check on her product. She'll be back in a second.
I'm still here. Hi, hello.
Oh, You can hear
Yeah,
us.
I can hear you guys. I just
Yeah.
not by the camera. Thank
So-
you. I appreciate you. So like I guess like Ben said, we just do the timeline. It's just like with the bake shop, it's not as what the timeline is not as in depth. It's more like as long as you know what your production is and you it's really all about communication because you work together as a team besides learning stuff by yourself. They kind of assign you like in a team,
Mhm.
and then as a team you kind of work together to make sure you finish all your production for the day. Like in culinary it's much more stricter because when I went through it, like because I can tell the difference between the two worlds. So when I went through the culinary side, it's kind of like a struggle because like you kind of go up against people's personalities because some people don't understand why they have to clean. It's a process of sorts.
Yeah.
And then but like the first couple of weeks is gonna be rough because people are kind of like, no, I'm not doing it that way. I want to do it this way. And then as they learn, they get together, then they get, like everybody starts working cohesively as a group.
Yeah.
With the bake side, we have our production, but again, it goes back to the same thing like your team. If your team is the type that, hey, what are we doing today? Do you want to do this? I want to try this. Oh, I want to try that. And then we just kind of break the production so we can be more efficient. And let's say I've already baked the chocolate chip cookie, but I kind of want to try the zucchini bread because I've never done that before. So I take I try to bake that one so I can learn what I did wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really all about teamwork too at the end of the day, which is what the school teaches you too.
All right, excellent. Yeah, because making sure that you guys are aware of each other, aware of each other's like work habits, and be able to work cohesively. I mean, that's going to be such a key to success in any of your classes, really, right?
Yes.
All right, excellent. What has been your favorite class so far, up to this point?
So for me, I'll go first, Ben. Sorry. For when I was in culinary, I thought my favorite class was going to be Asia's because I'm Asian, not that I'm being racist. I just want to say it like that. But I actually enjoyed Euromed. That's it's a fourth semester class alongside Garmager. It's really also about the chef. The chef actually makes the class more fun. Like they all do, but it's just there's some good chefs that you just really want to keep having them in your class as you go along the program. And then on the baking side, as of now, I would honestly say I like chocolates the most because I had to take it earlier than it's a fourth semester class, but I had to take it earlier because of my situation, because it's my second go around. So I have less classes to take. Yeah.
And what about you, Ben? What's your favorite class, or has been, or still is?
So right now, my favorite class was meat fabrications with Chef Almir.
Yes.
I really enjoyed that class because it's this is an art, this is a trade, this is a career, and anything that we can have to have a little leg up on anyone is great. And so doing the meat fabrication class, you learn how to break down the whole entire animal all the way down to what we actually use in a restaurant. And it really teaches you, one, to respect the product, respect what's being used, as well as how to use every single part of the animal to make it the best yield that you can get out of it, as well as how to make it cost effective, how you actually are going to run a business and actually get it to where, okay, I can still have steak on the menu, but I need to use the trim in order to make it this sort of extra bonus on top, which is really great. And that's a skill that I'm going to have for the rest of my life. And I worked in restaurants before coming here, and I worked at a place for probably about 5 years, and I cut 2 fish. While I was in meat and fish fabrications, I did fish so many times every single day, so much repetition. And the chefs were very patient, and they taught me what I needed to do and how to be successful when I leave here and be able to be like, oh yeah, no, I can break down that whole sturgeon. It's 7 feet. That's fine. We did that in class. I got it. So, and then right now, my favorite class is Gatehouse because we're actually serving customers. It's what I love to do. And it's just fun turning and burning and having a good time.
Now, right now for Gatehouse, are you doing the front of the house or the back of the house?
Back of the house. So I did front of house about 7 weeks ago. You do 7 weeks front, 7 weeks in the back. In front of house, you learn about how to manage, how to set up a POS system, how to do a whole entire lineated bar system, and if you're going to do wines, if you're going to do cocktails, if you're going to do that, how do you get a alcohol permit? How do you get the licenses? It's very interesting. And then back of house is all restaurant service.
All right, that's very insightful. Yeah, thank you so much for like kind of going through the differences. I mean, there's just so much detail in everything that you learn. The internships, you both have gone on to your internships and completed those, right?
Yeah. I did culinary side.
Can you tell us a little bit about what your internship was like, where your location was, and maybe how you found your spot?
So just to explain my background, like compared to Ben, I don't really have experience with the restaurant business. So when I did when I was picking for my externship site, I had to like be, like realistic. I don't want to go to like a Michelin star place and then I'm not, ready because I don't know how service works in that kind of setting. So I picked a corporate dining, which is I ended up in Google for my externship when I was in culinary. And the good thing about them, they actually, Haley, because I met her through the career fair in the school. And the program's pretty nice because they actually let you pick the cuisine. They assign you to a cafe and there's phases. So you start off with just the prep. The second phase, you kind of run stations. And then the last station or the last phase of the externship, you actually, run your own station with your own recipe. Like it's a buildup. But, it also happened during halfway through COVID. So I got cut in half. But I made it to my third phase. But Google actually reassigned me to the teaching kitchen, which was different because they had me, experiment different recipes if I wanted to try it out. If we didn't have anybody, we had to teach in, the Googlers because they make appointments and then we do like a one-on-one with them with cooking classes. But it just kind of gives you confidence. And then everything that you've done the first 2 semesters makes more sense as you go through that externship. And then coming back to your fourth, it's like, you move faster, everybody works better, like it just everything clicks for the group, as a whole. That's what I've noticed when everybody came back.
And Ben, what was your experience like?
So I actually haven't gone on my externship yet because I was the class that started right when everything had shut down and we opened back up. The CIA was the first college in the state of California to get open and have proper PPE and all that good jazz. So I haven't gone yet, but I can tell you about where I am going and how excited I am to go there.
I'd love to hear.
So I'm going to North Carolina. I'm going to be going to a restaurant called Gameskeeper. Nice. This restaurant, they do all venison, they do pork, wild pig, quail, dove. It's all wild game. And the reason why I chose that is because they break it down in-house. Everything is done with safe practices in the kitchen. And so it was a way for me to take my love of the meat fabrication class with Chef Almir and transfer it over to a practical setting while it's still, I'm still in school. So I'm able to go, they have a little bit, not more relaxed requirements, but they're going to be a little bit nicer with me and let me really try out and break down a whole entire deer and learn these different aspects of my individual part of the industry. And I'm very excited about it. But to speak to what Kat was saying about fourth semester, after everyone comes back, I had a lot of restaurant experience before this. So fundamentals was awesome for me. I got to really practice and go through.
Excuse me?
Once everyone actually came back from externship, there was a huge gear shift. And it was like everybody was working as a part of the team because they've been there, they've done that. And it's a lot of fun. You start to go into individual European style cooking, Korean style, Japanese, yakitori, learning those like really fun niche kind of you've gone through the rough chop aspect of it, and now you're really going through the facets of like, well, let's try this cuisine. I haven't done that before. And so you do it for about 3 weeks and it's a great time.
Yes, it is.
Awesome. We had a question come in through the Q&A chat, which just a reminder to everyone who's here today, feel free to throw in any questions that you have for our students in the Q&A box. We'll try to address as many as we can throughout the presentation. But we did have a really great question come in. A student wanting to know, what are a couple of strengths and a couple of weaknesses that you see, maybe like with chefs in the industry, maybe that you've like felt for yourself while in class, or working in the field? Can you talk a little bit about like some strengths and weaknesses?
Kat, I can start this one.
Yeah, go for it.
I'm going to speak from it as from the perspective of a CIA student. And I would say two of the major strengths that you gain from taking your steps to become a chef here through the CIA is the organization. And not just the kitchen, but in life, it's really great. Like it pushes you forward, and it makes you start thinking about, okay, now that I have this all organized, how do I take my business to the next level? How do I take this career to where I'm not just working as a line cook? I'm not just going to be a sous chef. I'm now a chef operator. What can I do to take this further? Who do I talk to? What do I do? And having the confidence to do that, because you have gone through each of the lists. You have done you do the whole entire costing assignment for what you want to do, what you would like to do with a restaurant. And it gives you a little bit more confidence. And so I think the strength coming from that is organization, keeping your life efficiently moving forward. The other strength that I would say is understanding where our food comes from. Understanding what it requires to get the meal that you are preparing for people, and the logistics behind that, as well as respecting that animal, respecting the heirloom tomatoes that come in. I mean, our farm to table students right now are growing so much squash that we have squash in practically 6 items on the gatehouse menu right now. And understanding, how hard they work to get that, and okay, how do we highlight this dish? How do we make this showcase that these people put a lot of time and energy into growing this? And I think that's a strength that I never really paid too much attention to. I'd go, oh wow, that's caviar. I know that's something big, but no, now I really pay attention to like, oh wow, the squash blossom is really pretty. They took care of it. They didn't just bruise it up. They're putting effort into it. I need to put effort into it in myself. Two weaknesses, I would have to say, it's very hard to leave the kitchen. When you want to go out and do stuff, we can sometimes obsess because this is a part of our life and it's such a big idea for this. So that's something to be aware of, is make time for yourself.
I'm making ube macarons, and I'm also in a session. I don't know if you want to say hi.
So that's one thing, is finding ways to get out of the kitchen, which that leads into the next question, which is awesome. And then
on
the other
dish pit on that side, there's a pail with oil at the bottom.
Confidence is great. Overbearingness is not. And so sometimes there's an arrogance that can come about. And so always watching yourself and being self-aware is a great way of mitigating that. But that's something I would say in the future, just to be aware of. I mean, we work really hard and we hold ourselves to a standard, and we're very proud of what we can accomplish here at the CIA, but that also should be curb-tailed and maybe just watched a little bit so we don't go too far over the other side and are a tyrant in the kitchen.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. No, those are like really great points that you brought up. So thank you so much for sharing that. Catherine, you're muted at the moment, but would you care to kind of weigh in on what some strengths and weaknesses are that you see or that you've encountered for yourself?
In the industry right now?
You're in the
or just in general?
The industry, maybe like that you've noticed like as you're growing as a student or a part of the industry?
Let me think about it for a second. Because so when I went to school, because it's always been my dream to be in like, to to be a chef. And it took me a second to get to that point because I had to do other things. And anyways, now that I got time, that's what I'm doing. But when I walked in, I didn't really, I just went to school. I didn't really do the research. So as I went through the program, like one of the things that I found very, interesting, because like the chefs always talk about it, like, respect the product, take care of it because it takes care of you. Because every little thing that you use, that's money that you lose, you gain, whatever in the industry. And wait, give me a second. Let me just check my macaron. Long story short, like the sustainability is a very big factor, but like depending on where you're at, you really have to understand balancing, your produce, like where to buy them. Because the thing is, it's like, as much as I want quality foods, but then if it impacts the environment, then it's really not worth it at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So a lot of chefs actually encourage you to look into the farmers market, or grow, do the
Buy
farm to
local,
table
grow
like Ben was
local.
talking about. And that's the thing you kind of learn in CIA. Sorry, give me 1 second.
That's okay. Why don't we shift gears a little bit and start talking about campus life? I know you're both like part of the residence hall team. You're a senior RD, Catherine. But maybe you can tell us a little bit about what life is like in the residence hall, maybe some activities that you host there for the students, things of that nature.
So we do, we plan events throughout the semester. So like, fun story, actually, Ben was actually my resident that I recruited to become an RA. And he's actually one of the best ones in my group. And the thing is, he always starts off the event in school by doing, I know it sounds boring, but I think it's a very relevant event too. He's done the laundry event because, it's your first time away from home. You don't have mom and dad to do your laundry. And the laundry machine is shared by the group. It's kind of important for you to understand how to take care of it, because if that goes down, nobody can do laundry.
Yeah.
So other than that, because of COVID, we kind of had to adjust our events. So I did a lot of pampering, self-care events, because that's easier to do through Teams. Before COVID, I actually used to do, when I had the long weekend duty, I used to do a theme cuisine night. So like one time I had a kimchi event. We learned how to make kimchi, but we also made the food. I had a team, residents, like there's ones who practice their, cooking. And then I had somebody handling the dessert. So we all interact, and then like we invite everybody in the residence hall to come over and eat in the commons. So that's one of the things we did before COVID that I don't think Ben ever experienced. And other than that, like it's pretty chill because it's Napa. It's beautiful out here. Like, we only have either rainy or sunny, 2 weathers.
Yeah.
Can't really complain. You can work on your tan if you want. Drink wine if you are of age. Sorry, I had to like move again.
Yeah.
But how about you, Ben?
I'll jump in, Kat.
Thank you.
Oh, hey, there's Chef Isaac. He's great.
Hi, Chef.
I don't think he saw you. I don't think he knows the camera's on.
So a couple of things that we do around campus. We have clubs that students can join when they want to take a break from culinary. We love it, we live it, but sometimes there's things we want to do that aren't always associated with the kitchen. So there's the Outdoor Adventure Club, where that's led by Jared Snyder. He takes students out and he'll actually go out and they'll do hikes around the area, rock climbing up near Mount St. Helena, which is beautiful. They'll sometimes organize a bus to go out to a bunch of different cool areas, including some caves that Jared himself has mapped out, and he'll take some students down there. As the restrictions are lifting, there's a lot of possibilities that are going to open up to you here.
They're there.
Another thing that we also do is, there's a bunch of activities that the RAs put on. I mean, we did a whole pumpkin carving contest around Halloween, which was super fun. I think one of the winners was somebody carved a whole Ratatouille themed pumpkin. So that was really funny.
That was cute.
Yeah, we also do, there's game nights in each common area. There's a lot of fun activities.
Actually, Chef, we kept walking through the camera. There's a Q&A right now. Sorry, Ben.
No, don't worry about it.
Camera?
Say hi to the new student.
Good to see you, Chef Isaac. And so there's a bunch of activities for that. I mean, the farmers market was something we were just talking about. That's every Friday in downtown St. Helena. And if you ever want to hang out with Chef Lars outside of class, that is exactly where he is every single day, knowing every single farmer, purveyor. If you're above the age of 21, we're in the Napa Valley. There's a lot of different wineries that you can go try and experience your palate. I actually did that for writing a paper for my wines class, which is something that you'll take in your 5th semester. It's a class to get you trained on how to pair wines for menus. And so you do a lot of tastings, you learn about Madeiras. And then also, if you really want to go someplace, San Francisco is not that far from here. It's about an hour and 20 minutes. And so me and my friend group personally go to San Francisco, and we go have Korean barbecue every Sunday as like a family get together outing. And it's a little AOS 80 and 81 reunion. It's really fun. Trying to think, honestly, yeah, we just do a bunch of little fun events like that. And if you want to do something, we'll do something with you. We're hanging out people here. It's definitely a thing.
What are some of like your favorite places to go to or hang out or adventure through, like just within the St. Helena and Napa area that, like anyone of all ages can do?
I personally, there's a petrified forest right up here next to the campus. It's right off of Silverado. And it's the old Petrified Forest Road, which is funny. And it's free to enter, and it's really fun. It's a great hike. It gets you outside. We're moving from fluorescent lighting to fluorescent lighting all the time. And so getting outdoors and getting some vitamin D from the sun is really nice to do. They have trees that have been fossilized and petrified, and it's really, really interesting, really fun. Besides that, downtown St. Helena has a bunch of different shops, has a bunch of different restaurants. I personally really like going to Farmstead because a lot of my friends work at Farmstead, and they have Farmstead is a wonderful restaurant that started off as a farm, or started off as a vineyard, turned into a winemaker, turned into a farm, turned into a restaurant. And so everything's produced in-house. And so it's really, really interesting to go and eat there. Besides doing that, I also really like to go and we go biking a lot, which is a lot of fun. This area is really well known for the cyclist paths.
All right, excellent. Sounds like you guys have a lot of fun. So circling back to food, can you talk about, and you mentioned a little bit about like where you get your breakfast in the morning, your coffee. What are your meals like during the day and even on the weekends?
Kat, you're muted if you are talking.
Hey, can y'all hear me?
Hi, guys. Oh, Emma's
Yes,
here.
you can, Emma.
Yes, hi y'all.
Hi, Emma. Can you turn on your camera and introduce yourself to everybody?
Yes. Oh, okay, cool. Sorry, I just got out of class. My name's Emma Gerton. I'm in AOS 87. I'm in Culinary Fundamentals right now.
So this is your first semester at CIA.
Yes, it is.
How are you loving it so far?
Oh, it's awesome. Yeah, we had a long day in class today. But no, I love it. Like it's honestly great. There's a lot of good experiences.
Excellent. What's been your favorite class so far?
Oh, definitely Fundies. Fundies. Yeah, no, Fundies is great. Hospitality has been really neat because we do a lot of dialogue in hospitality, so that's been a cool class. Food safety was nice too. We learned a lot of interesting information in food safety.
All right, excellent. So Ben and Catherine are just going to walk us through like what the meal plans are like on campus and like how often do you get to eat? What do you guys do for food on the weekend? So, why don't I have you start and then Catherine and Ben will jump in.
Sophia, I actually have to go. I'm so sorry, guys.
Oh yeah, that's right. You got class.
Yes. If they have any questions, they are more than welcome to email me. You can share it, Sophia. I'm cool with it.
Absolutely.
If you guys have more questions, help, whatever, we can help. Sorry, guys, I really have to go. Bye.
Bye, Catherine. Thank you. All right. So it's just the two of us now and our group here for Q&A. So what's it like to eat around campus?
Okay. So we get breakfast every morning. I don't know if they're going to do the meals different next semester, but like this semester, we always have a different breakfast. It's really cool because the students help make the breakfasts. You can like get a job with the school and they do the breakfast. And then for lunch, they actually have the classes make lunch. So it depends like if you have like a la carte going on, banquet, high volume, and the same concept is for dinner as well. So it's usually the second and fourth semesters that will make the lunches and the dinners. So it's pretty neat. And then the baking students make the desserts and they're always very good.
All right. So Ben, what's been your experience with the food and maybe even talk about like how you guys find food on the weekends or things like that.
Yeah. So I live right here on campus. I live at guest house, which is as close you can to be on campus without actually being inside of a kitchen. So every morning there's a breakfast buffet that's put out for everyone by the TAs. Then the first semester or second semester and fourth semester classes in the morning will make the lunch. So that's usually high volume banquets. They're learning how to do things like how to make eggs and gravy and or biscuits and bacon and all that stuff. So that's really fun. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you have the fourth semester students learning how to do Moroccan couscous with a charsuka and all sorts of fun things like that. So you get a wide variety of different ranges. On the weekends, usually they put out a larger than normal dinner on Friday nights. So that way with like to-go boxes, so you can take some meals for over the weekend. If you're living in the dorms, we have refrigerators that we can store everything inside and we keep that over. When it comes to getting supplies like basic groceries and things like that, there's actually 2 stores in town. We don't have a student store as of right now, but I believe that the gift shop doesn't have that. Yeah. So that's going to be, you're going to travel into town. It's literally a 4-minute walk or a 1.5-minute drive, depending on the season. I mean, if it's definitely peak tourist hours, you might take you a little bit longer. But you have a Safeway. If you would like to go to a Safeway, there's also Sunshine Mart, which has some really awesome local products, great cheeses. Their cheese selection is out of this world. But that's basically where we get our groceries for the weekend. Like we said, students are the ones that are actually making the meals. And so with no students on campus Saturday and Sunday, that's why we don't make those. I don't know about ACAP actually, Kelsey. I think that's a question for Sophia. We actually had ACAP students up here at Greystone during my semester. So
yeah. So for the ACAP meal plan, it's going to be very similar to what you see at Greystone. So like the students are essentially going to be making like whatever they're making in class is going to go back into like feeding yourselves at the end of class. So you're going to have a family meal. Yeah.
That makes sense. We do that in 5th semester Gatehouse. That's one of the stations. Today, Soon-Jae actually made kimchi fried rice with quail egg, which was really fun because we had leftover quail eggs, and so he used all of those. He did that with steamed egg dish that was so nifty, and it's from Korea. And so it came out and it was just this beautiful sheet of egg in the square with all these nice herbs over the top of it, little green onion.
So cool.
It was awesome. And then a bao-esque bun stuffed with like minced pork. And so that was our family meal, and I was very okay with it.
Oh yeah. That sounds great.
So we had a question come in. He wants to know, where do you just buy supplies if you need something like quick? Like, can you go, is there a store on campus that you can shop from, or do you have to go into town? What's your go-to for any last minute supplies?
So last minute supplies usually will hit Safeway. Because I think the gift store is probably going to be open next semester, but I haven't had a chance to go to the gift shop yet because it was closed this semester. The last minute supplies, definitely Safeway. They usually have everything. There is a Walmart and a Target over in Napa. Like Napa has everything. So that's like a 25-minute commute. So we usually go there, or Amazon's really good at delivering here. So a lot of times we'll just like order everything off Amazon. Amazon, Safeway, or Walmart and Target if y'all can commute into town.
All right, excellent. And have either of you had to like seek any medical care? Like maybe you've had a burn or a cut, and how is that treated? Can you kind of walk us through that? Or maybe you've had a classmate that's had to go through that?
Yes. So I had a classmate, she cut herself. She just checked in with security. They just kind of evaluate it, see if everything's okay. If they do need to call like an ambulance, if they think it's severe, they will. But myself, like I've cut myself and burnt myself multiple times, but we have a first aid kit in the kitchen, and we just go to the first aid kit, get all good, and then get back to cutting. So yeah.
Your badges of honor.
Oh yeah, no, I have 2 burns from today. Yeah. So badges of honor.
From my understanding, I have a different perspective from being a part of the RA program. We work really closely with the security officers, and all of them go through first responder training for making sure that they can be there. So when you go to them for a severe cut, Junho was using a mandolin, and he slipped on the mandolin and he took off quite a large piece of his hand. And so that was a little scary, but immediately chef responded right away, putting pressure on it. We have multiple phones located all over every single kitchen, multiple security officers on campus. They made a phone call, security officer came down there, elevated it, kept the situation calm, and got Junho what he needed in that instance. So that way then he could be transported by one of the security officers to the ER, which is only about 20 minutes away, and it's located right here in St. Helena. And he just got a quick little stitch and he was ready to go. If you're not feeling well about being like under the weather, sort of, that one I've been very lucky not to get sick like that. So I actually don't know about that, other than going to, there's a family practitioner here in town, as well as you could also, if you feel like, hey, I don't know if I have food poisoning or what's going on, you can also go up to the hospital as well. They have an urgent care center.
All right, excellent. We had another question about study materials. I tell the students that any version of the correct edition of the textbook is acceptable, whether it's paperback, digital, hard copy, photocopies. Do you guys have a preference for what format you like your textbooks in?
I definitely like paper copy because I like to highlight my textbook, make notes. And for me, like, it's just easier for me to learn and read because you're definitely like your pro chef you need for sure. And I find like with a digital copy, it's kind of like hard to get to the exact pages I need. And you're going to have to like split back and forth the pages because some recipes are going to reference to a different page with like the sub recipes. So I definitely prefer the paperback.
What about you, Ben?
I would say paperback because I'm a tactile person. I like to be able to, turn the pages, look through it, and also I get to keep it for, I mean, you can keep the digital copy as well, but I mean, I like, cool, that's on my shelf. I know where that is. I know I can reference that. But I would also recommend, a lot of times it comes with an electronic copy. Download that PDF, keep it on you, because sometimes just on the fly, you might need to look something up, and it's a lot easier when you have a tablet or your cell phone, and it will save your back when you don't have to have a giant, the giant fundamentals book that is this thick, you can at least, it's also great for searching stuff. Sorry, I got excited because I remembered that when I found the search option to like look up certain recipes, oh, my life was so easy. Do that.
Okay, I will.
Mind blown, Emma.
Yes, that's going to save my life.
Big hacks for second semester, Emma, as well as for fourth semester when we're jumping around for different cuisines. Boom, you can look it up right away.
Heard that. Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Let's shift gears a little bit. Packing for the residence halls. Maybe you guys, particularly Ben, can talk about like what's some of the things that are highly recommended and some of the things that you need to leave home, or maybe something that you wish that you had brought, or something that you wish you'd left at home.
So definitely it's a warm climate here. It's California. Even in the winters, it does get colder than I was expecting. And so I brought long sleeves and like jeans and things like that. Sweatpants, just lounging around stuff when you're inside the dorm rooms, I would definitely suggest, and a light jacket. It's never gotten colder than maybe at night 48. So you don't need an extremely heavy jacket, but I did want to have, something comfy for inside my room. A small portable fan is something that's something you should have. Emma, you can speak about, you're in VL2, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah, VL2 has nice air conditioners, but always having a little portable fan to, set up when you're sitting on your desk and typing for hours, it's nice. I would suggest that, and refillable water bottle, or even like a Brita filter. That is something to have, just because, otherwise you're just keeping bottled water. We have stationed around all of the dorms a filtered water dispenser, so you can go down, refill that, and those are the ones that I was like, oh, dang, I have to go buy that. Dang.
Yeah.
What about you, Emma? When you packed?
So I'm from the South. I get cold here. I get really cold. So yeah, I definitely recommend what Ben said, like sweatpants, hoodies. Like if you get cold, it gets cold in the nighttime, for me at least. Daytime does get really hot. I'm not really sure how the weather here is in the fall. So I'm going to have probably pack like half summer, half fall, winter clothes. The rooms do have a lot of space. So like under the beds, you have some drawers. You do have a lot of space in your closets, and you have a couple of drawers in there. So, I came with big old suitcases, and I got to fit everything in my suitcase. Definitely kind of plan on having a printer. I would recommend getting a printer because you can't print things on the weekends. So I do recommend a printer.
What about
and
board?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely the water bottle, like Ben said, that's been a huge thing for me too. And snacks. Have snacks. You'll have like a drawer in your desk designated to snacks. But yeah, the desks have a lot of space too, so that's really nice also. So yeah, your room, like you have a lot of storage space in the room, so but definitely pack warm and cold clothing.
Yeah, for sure. A little bit about like, what's the dress code been like for you guys? Like, have you had any like, do you wear your business casual when you're not going to a kitchen class, or do you wear chef whites all the time? What's your preference?
So I wear business casual, yeah, because being in Fundies, you're gonna have some liberal arts classes. So I do dress business casual, or I guess it's business professional that we have to dress in. So definitely bring like, yeah, like a lot of those clothes. You can wear your chef whites to class. But yeah, just I wear my chef whites or just dress business.
All right.
Personally, I like the chef whites, and so I typically wear those. I had some college credits before this, so I didn't actually have to take a lot of those classes in Fundies, so I didn't have to worry about that. But it's business casual when you come onto campus to eat. Closed-toed shoes. That is just plan on always wearing closed-toed shoes if you are going to be in any of the buildings except for your dorm room. Wear whatever you want. You can walk barefoot. I don't care. It's dorm, man. But definitely closed-toed shoes, because service is going to be out of the kitchen no matter what. And kitchens are places where things can fall, and they're sharp and they're hot and they will hurt you. So make sure you're covered. As for classes, business, professional, you don't, if you wear ties, you don't have to wear a tie, but if you want to wear a tie, you'll look spiffy. But definitely a button up, some sort of slacks or docks, not really jeans, unless they are some of those really fancy jeans. I don't know how to pull them off. Some kids come in and I mean, they look like real good. So, I mean, it's more of just making sure that you are presentable and, you know, taking it seriously when you're in class.
Yeah. The way I try to describe it for our students is, imagine that you're going on a job interview.
Definitely.
If you have to think about whether or not it's something you should wear, then maybe put that aside and try something else.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
And your dresses, they can't be like 2 inches above the knee, or they have to be only 2 inches above the knee.
Right.
Yeah, same with like skirts.
Okay. So while we're on the subject of, you know, what to wear, when you're in the kitchens, you're having to wear, or were having to wear the masks and the shields. What was that experience like for you guys? And did it like interfere with your learning or your ability to perform in any way?
So,
Go ahead.
okay. So that honestly, it helped me find my voice. It helped me because like that, it really helped me like be able to yell and like for people to hear you across the kitchen with that face shield on. Like you definitely find your voice. It didn't really stunt my learning because like we still like have to pull our shields up and pull our masks down to taste. And whenever we do our tastings with chefs, you know, we get to do all that, and like you have to taste your food as you make it, and so you just kind of do the same procedure. And you just kind of learn how to work with it, learn how to get comfortable with it. But it will help you find your voice for sure.
I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
I'm always ready to talk. But I would say it's the exact same as having to wear a neckerchief. It's the uniform that was required at the time, and it just you work into it and you become a part of it. I mean, now I used to kind of at first I was like, man, putting on a neckerchief before I go. Now I can't even put on my chef coats without being like, whoa, there's a lot of space here. Whoa, you could see my whole Adam's apple. I don't like that. So it's just a part of the uniform. It does block sound when you are speaking, so you learn how to project, but you want to do that in the kitchen anyways. Tastings and stuff. You know, one thing, it forces you to make sure your hands are clean before you start tasting and pulling down your mask, because it's a white mask, and then next thing you know, if you pinch your nose and you just have red sauce on your fingers, people will find it and you'll look gross. Wash your hands. So it honestly, I didn't see it as a negative, other than it's just another part of the required equipment.
Yeah, definitely.
So we are winding down on time, and I would like to pose one final question to the two of you. What piece of advice, if you could go back in time, would you give yourself to the version of yourself during week 1 at CIA, knowing what you know now?
Mine would be to not be like nervous or shy to talk to chefs, like, you know, because the chefs are definitely intimidating. But find that comfort level like right off the bat, like, and have fun, like even like in the kitchen, like, you know, be serious and be professional, but like enjoy it, like seriously, just enjoy it. And I wish that like when I first started Sundays, I kind of knew that, because, you know, everything was all serious and everyone's all nervous. Everyone's afraid to talk to chef. And it's like, no, like go laugh with chef, go talk to chef, like, and just laugh, you know, just laugh and smile, like be professional, but definitely enjoy it.
And what about you, Ben?
I would 100% agree with Emma that is one thing to do. Myself, looking back, I would say download everything off of Moodle.
Yeah.
There's so much resources. Just get a USB drive, put that on there. You can reference, look back. There's just utilize every resource that's here. There's so many resources. I mean, the culminative or cumulative knowledge that all of these chefs have, it's ridiculous. Go pick somebody's brain. Go talk to them when they're off and they're in the kitchen, they're working on a project. You're an hour or so between class. Go talk to them. They like this. That's why they're here. They will talk to you about it, and just utilize those resources. Utilize the resources that are inside the student offices and like the faculty offices as well. I mean, Jenny is amazing. Talk to her. She'll get you hooked up for externship. She'll help you out. There's so many resources.
And that's Jenny Woltz, the academic advisor.
Yeah. So utilize everything that is available here. And if you don't know what is available, ask. People will tell you, oh, hey, there's this event going on. Oh, hey, you need a job? Well, we have a job for you. I mean, either through the school, in the mailroom, in the kitchens. Oh, there's an event going on at a winery. We need a caterer to help out. Boom, there you go. You're doing melon balls with a little bit of prosciutto for 40. There you are. There's just so much. Enjoy the time here, because it goes extremely fast.
It does.
I cannot believe I am graduating. It blows me away that I've been here as long as I've been here, because it doesn't feel like it. We pack our days full. We're very efficient about our time. So utilize every resource and really just enjoy the moment, man, because this is awesome. Everyone here is excited. Everyone here loves cooking, loves food, and really wants you to be a part of it.
That is one huge thing. Like every single person I've ever talked to at this school has been so supportive. Everyone helps you out no matter what semester they're in. Like they're going to give you advice. They're going to be there to help you. And like, it's awesome. And another advice I would give is write every single thing chef says down. Like everything. Like you need to learn how to like look at them and listen and write. Like write every single thing that they tell you down. Even like if you're writing it like multiple times, every single thing that chef says, write it down. And during tasting, write down their critiques and like everything. Yeah, literally everything. And even if you're the only person in the class writing things down, just keep doing it. Like write every single thing down.
Awesome. I love all of your answers, all of them. Well, thank you so much, both of you, for joining us today. Your insight is so valuable to our incoming students. If we didn't get to your question, I'll reach out personally to see about getting you a response. But also join us next week, August 5th on Thursday. We are going to be having another panel session with some of our student affairs personnel. So Jared Snyder from Residence Life, Catherine Rebley for student activities, Jenny Woltz from academic advising are all going to be joining us. Oh, we're also going to have Kathleen Herrera from counseling services to kind of speak to you about all the services that we're having here on campus. So join us for next week's session as well. Thank you again to our panelists, and congratulations again to all of our students for the fall semester. We can't wait to welcome you to campus in a few weeks. Have a good day.
Yeah, it's going to be awesome. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Thank you,
Y'all have
guys.
a good day.